A series of very serious allegations were made by a member of the public against Keir WSP and the County Council's Highways Authority. I know that work is ongoing to look into those allegations, but could Councillor Scrimshaw give a more substantive update on the progress of that work and when we can expect the findings of the...
Work isn't quite completed. I believe they were still trying to hold a quite an important meeting with the Chief Exec, for example. My understanding is that they intended to do that and one or two other things and report back to our meeting.
Is that better? Okay, great, sorry. In about 2015, I came across...
Sorry, Councillor Meredith's trying to sort one out, yeah. Sorry? Oh, is it?
Councillor Roy, should be working now. Yeah.
What, that one?
It's the original one.
Right, I won't start again, really. He had one of his foster sons was one of those young people who had exhausted rights, bank card over, and what I was concerned about was the people in the authority actually being part of the hostile environment and part of the issues around the state. Is that one of the issues about detention, when you go in there, you don't know how long you're going to stay in there for. It's an indefinite period. So it's incredibly inhumane and incredibly unjust.
And thank you for soldiering on in the difficult situation. Could I ask Councillor Stone to second the motion?
Thank you very much, Chair. I was falling into a really terrible lethargic depression. Terrible stories we heard about that. It should not be happening. Most of those women, in the end, are released. They get lost and then very vulnerable to predators. And, you know, I know 3 young people who look emaciated because actually their mental health
Could you
issues.
sum up?
And therefore there is legitimate reason to debate it. I think this motion is a little bit ambiguous, it's a little bit vague, and it doesn't really set out exactly what the council gives. So we basically take them out of the frying pan and put them into the fire. We need to have policies that not only protect the community, but also ensure that we have control measures about our immigration policy, and also we protect the detained bigger. And the unintended consequences could be with people ended up getting killed because they're taking risks, because they feel that the system in the UK is more... Sorry, I do apologise. So I urge you to reject this, please. I would like to work with the opposition. We're trying to come up with something that is workable, and maybe we can do...
Section that begins this council, there are 3 items, 1, 2, 3. Something, you know, we're asked to say that we believe detention negatively impacts individuals' physical and mental health well-being, that we will speak out against detention practices that breach basic human rights, and none whatsoever. It's an affront, and it's something that this country should not be doing, and if we haven't stopped it, we should. So happy to support the motion, happy to support what we're being asked to assert, and I think it's right that we do so. Thank you, Chair.
Perfect for organised crime and those engaged in modern-day slavery. Terrible for those who are inevitably exploited, including children who undoubtedly lose their lives in their quest to come to this country. And aiding people traffickers. There would be no need for these centres, but we do not live in a perfect world. Therefore, for the protection of those in detention and the public at large, it is necessary for these detention centres to remain open. Despite agreeing with some aspects of this motion and hoping that we can take those areas of agreement on board, I reject the implication of point 1 under this council and would urge everyone to vote against it.
Thank you, Councillor Meredith. Councillor Scrimshaw?
Thank you. Parliamentary group looked at this issue and concluded that the UK uses detention disproportionately and inappropriately. Now, they're not saying, I don't think, that there shouldn't be detention, but they are saying, I think what you were, sorry, Chair, what can...
Experience and human cost to health, well-being, psychological health, mental health, but also cost in terms of the cost of you know, pounds, shillings and pence that actually go into doing this. So I would just urge you to...
Those that are in favour of the motion? Those against?